Hi, girls, well, girls, guys, men, women. It's funny how we always say hi, guys. What's that all about? Anyway, it's not weird. Hi, girls. I wonder why I said that. Totally cool. I did. So good. Anyway, hi everybody. Hi, girls. How's it going? um, yeah. Again, woken up at a crazy hour. It was like 5:30 when I got up this morning, which is weird. A friend on Facebook had been lamenting the fact that as he was getting older, he just can't sleep in anymore. And it wasn't a problem for me. It's never been a problem, but just lately, this last week, I've been getting up very early and going to bed a bit later. So I don't know what it's all about. It might be all levels, different levels to do with diet and to do with stress and to do with a whole bunch of things. Well, some pretty big things that have been going on in my life, which at some point I will discuss, but seem a little bit, it would seem like it would be a little bit crass to talk about them right now, as they're happening with the people, knowing that the people who involved might be seeing this. I suppose I will talk about it, but I'm still just trying to figure out whether I should or not, morally. And also, not so much morals to do with me, but whether or not it's going to affect the other person. So anyway, here I am, early, and I thought maybe I would. I got a little email from Bandcamp saying that OPU, and I'm hoping that's how I'm pronouncing it correct, is a Melbourne artist, DJ, electronic musician who's released something new. So I'm really excited to hear it, and I thought maybe I'd just sort of play it a bit and see what we think. All right, here it is. Let's press play. Yeah, that's pretty kick-ass, isn't it? It's awesome. I just completely fell in love with him from his last album and just thought, wow, this is great, because I've been really into kind of this sort of funky, Funk Hunters type stuff. I fell in love with them, and through them found out a whole bunch of other things and whatever. But music, how amazing is music? It's bloody incredible. And even when I'm feeling completely drained and exhausted and my soul feels like it's sear and withered into a husk, I just sometimes need to put on a bit of like amazing electronic new music, and it's like all faith is restored and all joy floods back into my life, because I realize that there are these talented people out there making amazing stuff, and I have access to it now. It's so easy to find these things. Well, it's not easy. You've still got to trawl the internet, but it's out there. There's all this amazing music out there in the world, and it's awesome. It's so awesome. Generally, I kind of like have to trawl through an awful lot of sponsored stuff. Listen to this latest sort of Hands in the Air anthem from Ibiza, which is cool. But it's like, yeah, but come on, new stuff, please, new stuff. And so I just got notified this. So excited. OPU's excellent. It's OPIOU. I'm not getting paid to say this. I just think his music's really cool. And I haven't seen him live, but apparently he does a show with anyway, look, it does sound like I'm promoting it, doesn't it? Shit, sorry. It's just awesome. It's awesome. I love it when I hear good music. And again, it only, you know, you might just be thinking, and who knows, maybe this recorded it to sound terrible, but for me, it's like, it's the shit. And if it's up really loud, oh man, that's me lost. I used to dance so much. I used to go out to clubs when I lived in Bristol. I lived in Bristol for a while, and clubbing over there was just, oh god, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. First of all, they didn't care how you rocked up to the place, as long as you weren't wearing, well, actually, even if you were wearing a bikini, as if I was wearing a bikini, they probably would even have let me in anyway. But there was no dress code. Like, anyone in Brisbane knows what a complete and utter pain in the ass it is. The monopoly that's held on nightclubs in the Valley or in Brisbane, certainly when I left, in the Valley in particular, just destroyed it. I used to go to a club, I won't name it, and we're talking Brisbane here in summer when it's really hot. And I mean, I was going to listen to underground breaks and sort of dark music and dance like a nutter to it. And you have to wear shorts, you have to wear a t-shirt, and you have to wear sneakers, or else you will probably die. Like, it's really that bad. You will pass out and probably die. So even if just for common sense health issues, you had to wear shorts, and certainly me, because I heat up very quickly and I sweat a lot. So I used to go to this club, and then one day, like regularly, and I was there pretty much every weekend, or at least when someone was in who I knew was going to play a great set, so I'd be there, and it was awesome. It was full of like people who just didn't give a fuck, and they were there for a good time. Nobody was menacing, nobody was horrible, everybody was just there for a good time. But one day, the person at the bouncer, who was awesome, she was lovely, I really liked her, she said, "I'm sorry, but you can't come in." And I was like, why not? And she said, "Well, because you're wearing shorts, and they've changed the policy now. You have to wear jeans." And my first instinct was just to be like, I was so disappointed that it snapped instantly into kind of anger. That was my default setting about things for a long time, and I just could not believe that a club which I had sort of been a part of for so long suddenly said I couldn't come in simply because I wasn't wearing the right thing. And that was the year that pretty much most clubs in Brisbane who hadn't up to that point already decided to stop letting people in because they weren't wearing the right clothes. And really, what difference would it make if I was wearing jeans or wearing shorts? They weren't horrible shorts, and even if they were, so what? The point is, in Bristol, you turn up however you are. I know from friends who say even in Japan, if you turn up wearing whatever you're wearing, they just assume that's who you are and that's how you want to express yourself, and they don't give a fuck. As long as you're not an idiot, as long as you're not a total douche, they're like, "Come on in and have a good time. Buy some drinks, please." And you're like, "Sure, I'll buy some drinks and I'll dance and enjoy the club." But this idea that you have to dress a certain way to get into a club is so archaic and so elitist and exclusionary. And so what you're doing is you're setting yourself up to be a club full of people who are willing to be a part of that club. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, oh, you can't come in here. Oh, look at the way you're dressed. You know, we only wear a suit and tie in here. It's absolutely crazy, and it's something that Brisbane needs to snap out of. I'm hoping it has now, because I obviously haven't been out clubbing in a while. Something else about Brisbane, clubbing and just in general partying scene, is that you are just, if you're over a certain age, you're instantly judged as soon as you walk into the place. You know, unless it's, I don't know, some underground thing and whatever. If you walk in just as like me, you certainly feel that there's this kind of ageism where it's like, what are you doing here? Like, shouldn't you be at home knitting or something? And it's kind of weird because, again, that doesn't exist in Bristol. Out on the psytrance scene, out on the, you know, hard techno scene, out on break scene, out on all of them, like half the DJs are like older than your parents, and half the people dancing are your parents, you know, and everybody is there. And there's no sense that, what are they doing here? There's a sense like, oh, cool, they just wanted to come out for a good night too. And why is there an age limit on that? Why is it that once you reach a certain age, you're supposed to just want to stay home and watch telly? Because I fucking love to dance. I mean, I love it. And when I'm fit and when I'm healthy, I dance for like 8 hours straight. And when I say dance, I also mean just pretty much jump up and down and run around and do whatever. I just love it. It's about the only time I feel like my soul is connected to everything. And when I close my eyes and music like actually takes my mind away, I find myself getting so in tune with it and so loving every minute of it. And after about the first few hours, after you break that pain barrier and you're still dancing, you're suddenly doing dancing in ways you never thought you could or would. And I'm so glad nobody ever recorded it, because in my head, I probably thought I was dancing on a rainbow. But on in life, I was I don't know what I was doing. I was probably just sort of I like this music. But really, it's a way to kind of lose yourself and lose your soul. And there really is no other way really when you get older to kind of have that sort of release. I can't think of anything. And I've been thinking lately, why isn't there something more of a type of day club really? I suppose you could call it a fitness club really, where you just play really kick-ass music. It doesn't even matter if it's DJ'd. It's just amazing stuff, stuff that makes you want to dance. Why isn't there something like that for adults and stuff? And why isn't there something like that in the suburbs? Because it's so hard to get into town from where I live, and I can only imagine what it's like for younger people who there is like nothing for them on that level out here that's worth going to. And even if they do get there and they go in and have a good time, they've still got it's so hard for them to get home. And there is stuff going on. I've been sort of not up to date, but I've been looking at some listings of things that are happening in town at the moment, and there definitely seems to be some clubs that are pretty kick-ass. I still feel weird about going to them though. There's been even Opie was playing, and I was like, oh, do I go along? Which is crazy because anybody who likes that sort of music in general, they're used to dancing in a field with all sorts to it, So that's on me purely, but certainly it's. I wonder, what you're not even allowed to play music loud. You can't even put up like that at 5:30 in the morning. That's probably woken up the neighbours, and they're probably pissed off at me right now. And that wasn't even loud as far as I'm concerned. There's a reason I've got tinnitus. There's a reason. Yeah, it's kind of where's the expression? We can go along to a Zumba class, sure, that's fun, but it doesn't speak to me really, because it's pretty technical by the looks of things, and looks amazing, and the music looks fun. I've never been. I've just seen footage of people doing it, and I thought, yeah, it looks cool, but give me jumping up and down on the spot for like an hour and then going crazy to music once I've reached the pain barrier. That's my idea of a good time, and it's certainly the way that I lose weight and get fit and are happy. And why isn't there that? Why do we sort of give up on dancing and partying? And maybe it's because what's associated with that is the drug culture and drug culture. Now I really sound old. And alcohol and all these kind of things. So maybe that's why is you give up on all that stuff, and then suddenly you think it's not going to be fun. It is fun. It is. I've been to a couple. Well, I went to one festival 2 years ago, and I'm planning on going this year. The problem is it's in the middle of summer, which is just whoa. It's really, really hot, and the first time I went, they've got a lake on site, so I got to swim in the lake during the day when it was too hot. Have a shower here and there and get sprayed by water, so it was fine. But the next year I found out that the lake was closed for swimming because of health reasons, and I had to sell my ticket because I thought, if I don't have that sort of as a backup, I'm going to overheat and die. It's the middle of summer in Brisbane, and anybody who knows Brisbane, it's really hot, and especially for me, I was born in England anyway, but I've always had a problem with sweating and with the heat, so I didn't go. But the first time I went, it was a life-changing experience. I had so much crap on my shoulders when I went there, and when I left, I was like back to free me. I was back to my soul was pure, and I'd spent 3 days with some incredible people, doing incredible things, listening to really fantastic music, funky, soulful, earthy music, with just beautiful people. I mean, some of the experiences I had there were just so sweet and so affirming. There's one where we were on the dance floor, and they were playing away. It's quite a family-friendly event, and a young couple had obviously bought. I mean, I only saw the mother, but she was stunning. She was absolutely beautiful, and you could tell it wasn't just on the surface either. She was gorgeous, and she had a little baby with her, and they'd sprayed a bit of water on the dance floor, and there's a massive pile of mud, and people were rolling around in it and having a good old time. And the baby came over, and she had it in her hands, the legs here, and holding it like this. And she was kind of lowering it down to the mud, and the mud, like really young baby, and the kid was looking at the mud like, what is this? And you could tell it had never seen mud before. And she was right in front of me, and she did it, and she sort of lowered it down, and the baby had its foot up, and then it just kind of lowered it down into the mud. And the look on this baby's face, it's the first time it had ever done that. And it was like looking at its foot, and like this look of like joy and surprise on this baby's face. And I was like, I felt so privileged that I was seeing this happen right in front of me with this incredible music, right at a point when I just needed a bit of a break from the dancing. And I thought, it's all those little things that we never get to see, those like moments of like pure joy and pure experience, and the just pureness, just amazing moments. And I had so many of those that weekend. It was gorgeous, and the people were lovely, as I said. I mean, it was, and they had working toilet blocks and working shower blocks with hot water. I mean, it was like, anyone who's been to a festival, wow, how amazing is that? It was like luxury. The campsites even had some power poles and stuff, which I only found out about later, which I could have plugged my phone in, which probably died 2 minutes after I got there. So I could take hardly any photos. But my God, what an experience. The food, the food was so good. It wasn't just Dagwood dogs and shit. I mean, like, how many friggin' German sausages are you supposed to bloody want to eat at a festival? Come on. This was like amazing food. You would just have to walk around and follow your nose, and you'd be like, that smells amazing. Go over, and it's some Persian treat you've never seen before that just looks incredible. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. But there are very little avenues for as an adult for that, just in daily life even. And I think we need more of it, Maybe I need to invest in maybe some sort of soundproof warehouse or something, with a really kick-ass sound system where people could just come along and run around and jump up and down. Strictly no drugs, of course, but just jump up and down, run around, and we'd have activities. Be like, okay, for this song, everybody has to, jump on the spot and pretend they're a kangaroo or something. Maybe not. Rethink. But, just be silly. When do you get to be silly as an adult? You don't. And it's so annoying. This is kind of my chance to be a bit silly, I suppose. Hey, if you want to do it, do it. Another thing is that if you guys get anything from this, can you let me know in the comments? I said I probably wouldn't read them, but ultimately, yeah, if your friends and stuff, or, whatever, if you've got some objective things to say, please let me know, even subjective things, because otherwise I'm getting a lot of, not a lot of feedback, but I'm getting feedback on Facebook. But it'd be nice if it was here, so I could sort of address it a bit more easily, I suppose. It's a bit difficult when you've got 20 things you've got to be looking at. So yeah, I guess that's it. Just saying that we all need a release, and I certainly do at the moment. Putting on a bit of a brave face because of a lot of things that are going on. But hey, that's what you've got to do when you're an adult, right? No release for you. All right, bye.